Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see in the title of this video, I'm gonna be giving you guys a story time about how a lady yelled at Zeke, my son. So that was like crazy to go through. I've never experienced something like that, someone yelling at my child, or just being in a weird altercation like that, you know. So I was pretty shook that happened. Hopefully, I don't think this video is going to be too long, to be honest, but if it is, go ahead and grab something to drink or to eat, or a little snack or something, just so that we can talk about this together, okay? Or so you guys can hear the tea. Okay, so where do I begin? Because I have to kind of like do a little backstory so you guys can understand why we were on the plane. Okay, so if you don't know me, or if you don't know, or you haven't watched any of my videos, I am a military wife. Brian, my husband, he is in the Navy, and he's been in the military for 3 years now, and about to be 4. So that's freaking crazy. But anyways, so while he went on a 9-month deployment, me and the kids, we moved back to California, where all of our family and our friends are at. So I didn't want to stay in Florida for all those 9 months by myself, because I already knew in me that it was going to be way too hard. So, yes? I'm gonna go over the door. Me and Brian talked about it, and he was like, okay, you can go be in California for the 9 months, and then once I'm back, we go ahead and do like the arrangements, like where we're going to be living at and everything. He had found out that we were going to be moving to Virginia, which is where we're at right now. So he went on leave to be in California for Christmas. He had to get the house here in Virginia ready by himself, and shout out to him. I already told him, like, thank you, you did an amazing job. I can't believe he had to do everything by himself. Like, he literally had to move the big furniture in by himself. Like, he did everything on his own. So I love you, baby. Thank you for doing that. And yeah, so it was pretty exciting, like, when we came in the house. Okay, I'm getting distracted. So it's the day where we had to go on the airplane. Right off the bat, I was already really nervous because we haven't been on a plane with Zeke. So actually, yes, I have been on a plane with Zeke, and it was pretty wild, and he was smaller, and it was still crazy. So he is my wild child. He's very, very active, very vocal. He's loud. That's just how he is. Kids will be kids, honestly. So I was nervous. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to stay positive about everything, you know. I hope that he's not too crazy. I hope both of the kids listen, and I'll be she listens. So I wasn't too worried about her. We had one stop at Washington, D.C., and then from Washington, D.C., we had to go to Virginia. Everything was going fine. Our flight was really early. It was at 6 a.m. So we had to be at the airport like around 4-ish. So I was like, okay, that's fine, because I'm pretty sure like Zeke will fall asleep. And we got on the plane, on the first plane. It was really big. It was really nice. And luckily, since Zeke is already 2 years old, he has his own seat. So I made sure to download like a bunch of episodes from Netflix, or even movies. Everything. I packed snacks, like just like a bunch of things. You know, if you're a mom, you know, obviously you need like all these things to keep your kids occupied. He fell asleep almost the whole flight. Like, I kid you not. He woke up like 30 minutes before we were about to land, and it was a really long flight too, because like from freaking California all the way to like Washington, D.C., you're going from the west coast to the east coast, bitch. Like, that is a long ass flight. We were looking outside the window, and we started seeing everything, like, you know how you can see like land and like the clouds, and you can see like once we were almost about to land, like you can see like the little buildings and the little tiny cars, the other planes or whatever. So Zeke was very excited. He was very, very excited. He was like, oh my god, look, Abby, Abby, because he can't say Penelope, so he calls her Abby. He's like, Abby, look, the planes are look, da. He was being loud. Like, he was like, Abby, look, like the planes, look, this, look, Abby. Penelope doesn't like to respond right away or like things like that, right? And I'm like, mommy, like, you know, he's talking to you. And she's like, yes, look, the planes. So they were both like laughing and like, you know, just speaking out loud. It wasn't like yelling like, oh my god, like, you know, things like that. It was just, he was just being loud. Like, you know, kids, they can be loud. There was a lady in front of me, and then her husband, boyfriend, whatever the fuck he was sitting next to her. So he was sitting right in front of Zeke. Throughout the flight, I saw that she was sleeping. So they had a great fucking flight. I know that for a fact. So just talking about it makes me a little mad again, because Zeke was like being excited and things like that. This lady had the audacity to yell at my child, and she was like, shut up, from the top of her lungs. I kid you not. Oof. I didn't even let 1 second pass by. Not even 1 second. I promise you, not even 1 second. And right away, I yelled right back at her. And I said, who the fuck do you think you're talking to like that? You have no right to fucking talk to my child like that. I was going off on this lady. Off on her. And she tried to say something. I didn't let her fucking talk. She kind of said like, oh, he's something. I was like, I don't give a fuck. He is 2 years old. He is a fucking child. And I was so upset. Like, I was just telling her, like, he's a fucking child. Like, you have no right to talk to him like that. Like, you're not his fucking mother. You don't talk to him like that. And she was like, I don't care. I was like, you better fucking care, bitch. Like, I was so fucking... I'm gonna keep saying it because I was mad. I was really fucking mad. She stayed quiet. She didn't fucking say nothing. I didn't even let her speak. The only time she said something was when she said, I don't care. And I was so mad. Like, I know everyone was looking because I was yelling at the top of my lungs. Her husband, her boyfriend, whatever, he didn't say shit. He knew better not to fucking say shit either. And Brian, my husband, he was like, have some fucking respect. And after that, like, he didn't say anything because he was like, I knew you got it because you were going off on her, so that's why I didn't say anything. And I was like, period. So I shut this fucking lady up, and she didn't say anything for the rest of the fucking flight when we were getting out. I made sure to mad dog the fuck out of her, and I kept saying like little remarks. Like, we kept getting up, like we were ready to get off the flight, and I was like, the fucking audacity to speak to my child like that. I was just saying like little remarks like that. The people who were sitting in front of Brian, because he was sitting on the other on the middle section, so like the people who were sitting in front of him, they were shaking their head and they were like, oh my god, I can't believe she said that. The lady behind Penelope, she was also like saying some stuff. The lady who was kind of like, the lady who was behind Brian, she kept looking at me like she was just like, I don't know, like she just had like a face. And I was like, lady, you want to be next? Who's next? Who's fucking next? Because now at this point, I'm fucking heated. My adrenaline is all the way up here. I'm ready to fucking slap a bitch. So, you know, I was still going with the little remarks. I'm like, she's fucking lucky, because I would have slapped the fuck out of her. She's fucking lucky. My kids are here, and I don't want to fucking get banned. I just want to say this. My kids were not being fucking crazy, where they were bothering people, where they were fucking, you know, being annoying or like talking a lot. No, my kids were not like that, for one. For two, if you don't have kids, you have no right to say anything. Your opinion doesn't matter, because you don't know what us moms and us parents have to go through when our kids are just wild like that. Number 3, even if you are a parent, who the fuck do you think you are yelling at someone else's child? Mind your fucking business, period. If you're that fucking annoyed of kids, then why the fuck are you on the plane knowing that there's a possibility that there's gonna be kids on that flight? Okay, what do you want me to fucking do? That my child is talking and being excited, I'm gonna let him be. Okay, like, bitch, what the fuck? So yeah, that's just what I want to say. My kids were not bothering anybody. She had the best fucking sleep on that plane. Like 5 minutes before, that's when he started, you know, being excited and all of that stuff. Like, she had no fucking reason to do that. No fucking reason to do that. At all. At all. And right when we got off of the plane, like, everybody just came up to me and they're like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. Like, she was wrong what she did. Another mom came up to me. She was like, I know how you feel. Like, that happened to me last week. They also yelled at my child. They just don't get it. Like, you know, they just don't get it. And I'm like, exactly. And I told her that I'm so sorry you had to deal with that shit too. But yes, exactly. They don't know how it is. Just because my child is very vocal, is very, you know, excited and has a very bubbly personality, doesn't mean that I have to feel bad because other people's children like are very calm and like things like that. Like, no, every child is different and it's okay, and that's totally okay. And if you're a mom watching this and you get overwhelmed because your child is this way and then you see other people's children like being another way, like, no, don't feel bad, okay? I guarantee you, you are doing a wonderful job as a mother, okay? All that matters is that our children love us and nobody else's fucking opinion matters. Nobody else's opinion fucking matters. I remember when that happened, right away I called my mom and I let her know what the fuck happened. And then after that I went on Instagram and I told you guys a little story time on my Instagram story. A lot of people were like, oh hell no, like I would have fucking started swinging. And I was like, believe me, like I wanted to fucking swing too, but I just didn't want to get in trouble. Like, I didn't want obviously the kids to see something like that either. Penelope asked me after, she was like, why'd the lady yell at Zeke? She was just asking a lot of questions and I told her the truth. I told her she's just mad that you guys are very excited, and because she yelled at Zeke, I yelled right back at her. That's why you saw mommy get really mad, and that's why I yelled back at her, because I wouldn't yell at anybody like that. I told her why I did it, and then she just understood. But yeah, it was just so crazy. I never in a million years did I think that was gonna happen. Brian said that he kind of had a feeling that something was gonna happen, and I'm like, damn, okay. But I've never thought that anybody had the fucking guts to yell at my child. The husband of the whatever looked very embarrassed. He didn't say shit, and yeah, she didn't say anything for the rest of the time that we were getting off the plane. So so sorry for cussing, okay? I'm so sorry. But yeah, you guys, that was my little story time. I hope no one has to deal with something like this. I don't regret anything that I said to her because, like I said, she had no right to talk to my child like that. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!